Let's say you've been stuck with the same earbuds that came out of the box for your phone and you really want to upgrade, but you only have like $50 or so, which means the Shure SE215s are right out. Well, what if I told you the Chi-Fi market is starting to boom right now and you could get a pair of in-ear earbuds for $50 that had 4 drivers in them? What's going on, everybody? Jeremy with Detroit Tech. We're talking budget in-ears today, specifically the KZ ZS6 quad driver earphones. They were under $50 on Amazon when we got them and we just had to try them out. The ZS6 are part of the Chi-Fi market segment, basically Chinese Fidelity. Chinese companies are pumping out earbuds and headphones at a pretty cheap price that are actually pretty high fidelity, thus Chi-Fi. I'll throw a link in the description below if you're interested. Let's get into the 4 Fs. First is finish. Wow. While the packaging is really nothing to write home about, the body of these is fantastic. It looks like they borrowed from Campfire Audio's design team a bit, but I really can't blame them. The metal housing, yeah, it's actual metal. Has really cool angular designs. Even the curves are just a bunch of flat facets. Plus there are these like cool vents, I guess, on the side, and we'll go over those a bit more later. They look really just awesome. Where they fail in finish, however, is the cable. I hate it. It's super rubbery, so it like grips to itself, and it's hard to unravel. It makes tons of noise when it rubs against anything and isn't even very long. You can replace the cable for around $15 or so on Amazon, which I would strongly suggest. I'll put a link for that in the description as well. Overall finish does get a 4 out of 5 for me. The cable sucks, but they're just so pretty. Next is fit. Solid meh for me. They come with 3 different rubber tips, so there isn't really a lot of options. Even though the sound hole on these is almost as big as the One Mores we tested right here, I was able to get these to sit comfortably for a while. After about 45 minutes or so, my ear canals actually started to just get sore. And I think switching from the rubber tips to like the complete foam tips would work out, but out of the box, not amazing. Fit really is just a 2 out of 5. Fidelity is next. I mean, 4 drivers for under 50 bucks. Considering my current favorite in-ears are the Shure SE215s, and they're 100 bucks, I'd say that's a pretty good deal. 4 out of 5. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. Fidelity. These are, especially at their price point, pretty impressive. I mean, you would think so with 4 drivers, but for the descent on that, you can check out our video on the One More triple driver earbuds right over here. A couple of housekeeping items. First, I listened to these on my Pixel 2 XL streaming from Google Play Music since the use case for these is probably more mobile. I did listen to them on my Magni coming from the Focusrite Scarlett 2i4 as well, and the results are within any standard deviation I could think of. And second housekeeping are specs. Each earbud has 4 drivers, 2 dynamic drivers, 2 balanced armature drivers, and have 3 frequency divisions. 3, not 3. Going back to those vents on the outside, they do allow sound to pass out, almost like a semi-open back design. There's not a lot of leak though, so if you're on like a loud train, something for a commute, it really should be fine, but maybe just don't use them to track vocals on your next EP. Anyway, the ZS6 give people what they want, bass and lots of it. At this price point, I'm not really surprised by the V-shaped EQ, except maybe it's like a U, really short U. Anyway, there's a ton of bass, but the low mids and mids don't really get lost in the mix, and they stay surprisingly clear rather than muddying up. I mean, so on Black Widow by Iggy Azalea, it literally felt like my head was vibrating. But with the 4 drivers, the detail on the high end was still very apparent. In fact, maybe actually a little too apparent at times. There were few songs had really trouble listening to because of the sibilance in the vocals. The Pretender from Foo Fighters really sticks out. But despite that, the vocals sounded pretty great and were never really outstripped by the low end thanks to the 4 drivers. Now, I don't normally do this, but some songs and genres, there was just way too much low end for my taste. But I wanted to see what some EQ in Google Play Music would do. So I pulled the 60 Hertz band down just a little bit and things really evened out. Again, I don't normally do that. I just want my in-ears to get plugged in and sound good right out of the box. But at this price point, I figured how well they'd be able to adapt. Stereo separation was good with pretty decent accuracy. I could really tell the difference between all 3 guitar parts in the Foo Fighters songs. The soundstage felt pretty narrow, everything was very close, and you didn't really get a sense of the space in the room or concert hall, but I do expect that in general with any pair of in-ears. Overall though, I would have to give Fidelity a 4 out of 5. So with all votes tallied Fidelity twice, these average a 3.6 out of 5. So does that equal a recommendation though? Well, for me, yeah, they could get up to the 4 range pretty quickly if you got some foam tips instead of the rubber ones. The sound quality for price is, I mean, I won't say unmatched, but they come pretty close. They look amazing, and with just a tiny little bit of EQing, you get a really balanced sound signature. Or you could leave them alone and just have an extremely fun sound. Sure, the cable is bad, but you can turn these into some pretty epic in-ears for around $75. So knock yourself out. Thanks for watching, everybody. If this review was helpful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you only listen to FLAC files and think streaming music is bad, even though it helps people get exposed to music they may not have otherwise listened to, hit the thumbs down. Either way, let me know in the comments below what pair of in-ears you use on the daily. We'll catch you in the next one.